Most of us don't stop to think about it, but from the moment we're born, we begin constructing a belief system, one that shapes the way we see ourselves, others, and the world around us. It's invisible, yet powerful. It sits underneath our thoughts, feelings, and behaviours, influencing everything from the choices we make to the relationships we enter into, to how we respond to adversity or success. And yet these beliefs, they often aren't ours. We inherit them. We absorb them. We pick them up like passengers along the way. Parents, teachers, religion, culture, media, the offhand remark from someone we admired as children. When we're young, we don't have the critical capacity to filter or challenge what we're told. We just take it in. Some beliefs we absorb without question, others we perhaps rebel against. But either way, by the time we reach adulthood, we're carrying around a kind of mental operating system that's running in the background, often unexamined. Now, that operating system might contain beliefs that empower us, but it might also contain beliefs that limit us. And here's the crucial thing. Beliefs aren't facts. Beliefs are just thoughts we've repeated often enough or had confirmed often enough that they've solidified into something we accept as true. Take a moment to really let that in. Beliefs are, in fact, choices. But when they operate outside our awareness, they don't feel like choices. They feel like reality. Let me give you an example. A client of mine came to me struggling with chronic guilt. Every time she spoke to a friend or colleague, she would walk away wondering if she'd upset them in some way, said the wrong thing, or somehow made them feel uncomfortable. Her belief? I'm responsible for how other people feel. Now we trace this belief back to her childhood in a strict religious environment where emotional expression was monitored and disapproval was deeply felt. She had learned, without anyone explicitly saying it, that being a good person meant keeping everyone else comfortable, even if it meant being uncomfortable herself. This belief wasn't hers, but she carried it for decades. So when you begin to question your beliefs, you start to reclaim choice. You move from unconscious reaction to conscious response. But here's the challenge. We don't just believe things, we build evidence for them. That's what we call confirmation bias. Let's say you believe you're bad at public speaking. That belief shapes your inner dialogue. It shapes how you feel in your body before a presentation. It shapes how you behave. Maybe you avoid speaking opportunities altogether or apologize before you begin. And then, when the presentation doesn't go perfectly, you say to yourself, see, I knew I wasn't good at this. It becomes a self-limiting prophecy or a self-fulfilling prophecy. And all the while, your belief feels like a truth, when really it's just an unchallenged assumption. We all have a kind of inner script, a set of stories or narratives we carry about what we can or can't do, what we deserve, how lovable we are, how capable we are. This script plays out in the form of self-talk or dialogue, and that self-talk can be critical or fearful and certainly limiting, or it can be overpowering, encouraging and bold. If you have a strong inner critic, what psychologists call the internalized negative parent voice, it's likely you've been living under the weight of beliefs that simply don't support your growth. One way to challenge that inner critic is with daily affirmations. Not empty phrases you don't believe, but meaningful statements that you say with intention and preferably out loud in front of the mirror with full eye contact. For example, one of my personal affirmations is, I have control of my life with freedom to express myself, smashing through barriers that no longer hold me back. And sometimes it's not just the inner critic we need to work with, it's our inner child. So let me explain. Another client came to see me about low confidence and overeating. On the surface, it looked like a problem with food. But as we explored deeper, we discovered an emotional pattern rooted in his inner child. That part of him carried a deep belief of I don't matter. He learned early in life to soothe that pain with food. Foods high in sugar and fat, designed to comfort and distract. But the belief was reinforced by an inner critic who echoed, you don't matter. And that's what I call, that relationship I call the filial psyche, a codependent relationship between the inner child and the inner critic, running an unconscious belief system that can quietly direct a person's entire life. In therapy, we externalize those two inner voices. We give them space to speak and, more importantly, to be witnessed. And once that happens, he could start to choose a new belief, a belief that I do matter. So the question I want to leave you with is this: what do you believe about yourself, about the world? What do you believe about your worth? Because beliefs sit at the core of your identity. They're not just abstract thoughts, they form the lens through which you see everything. If your beliefs are empowering, they can lift you, guide you, and help you flourish. But if they're limiting, they'll keep you stuck, repeating old patterns and wondering why nothing seems to change. So here's a short exercise to help you begin to explore your belief system. You can do this in a journal or just quietly reflect. Ask yourself, what do I believe about who I am? What do I believe about my potential? What do I believe I deserve in life, in my love life, my work life, and my health? Where did these beliefs come from? Are they helping me live the life I want, or are they holding me back? And finally, ask yourself, so do I want to keep believing this, or is it time to choose something new? You are not your beliefs. You are the chooser of your beliefs. And when you truly realize that you step into your power, not the power to control everything, but the power to rewrite the narrative of your own life, that's where change begins. And if you'd like help understanding your belief system, then get in touch. Visit my website and book a free discovery call. And let's see how we can formulate your positive belief system going forward.